I think we can start with a minute's prayer because the message which I got is going to be slightly different than what you are so far listening yesterday and today here both of us. So please observe for a minute's silence, then I will say what I am going to the message for you. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Thank you very much for the answer. First of all, I am not Agni Venkatesan, I am Venkatesan. They added a title here. I am performing Agnivatra for last 25 years, propagating through both in India and abroad and various countries. The message is very simple, what I want to make it. We talked about vegetarian, vegan, etc. I attended many camps, even late 80s and things. Pure vegetarian. Some of the camps used to be like that. Agni should not come. Our first lesson on the camp was 1980s, first camp, I remember. 3 white poisons, sugar, salt, milk should not come inside. No fire should come inside. And when you come for the camp, you should not bring toothpaste or soap. Right? Tooth powder, herbal tooth powder will be given, herbal wash powder. Every year, May month for 10 days, it is a unique camp in various places, Kabini Dam and etc. About 150 of us we used to join and then putting it. So more of ritual. I enjoyed the camp and also to prove that these type of diets, as morning our first verse, you can live only vegetable cloth. We used to be taken for a trekking at the last day. Still my first trekking, I remember walking from Mona to Valpari, 95 kilometers in 3 days. I was the eldest man and my son was the youngest boy in the forest. Right? Now I am 75 years in. Probably I am younger than all of you. I can still work for 8 hours, you can feel the thing. How do I get it? Now my question, I am basically an engineer. I didn't have my elementary school. I was brought, my father being a freedom fighter, I was put in a Gandhi ashram. And my life itself on 5th, 6th year onwards, I was brought up in a Gandhi ashram for some time. I lost my education, only the people, everybody, yoga asanas. And whatever you preach, these type of food are given to me right from 5th year. Maybe that sustains me even now, in spite of all the junk and other foods. Now these are fine, we talk about the vegan, vegetarian here. How are you going to take the masses? Sustainability, Mr. Srinivasan has mentioned, 700 crore people, India is going to 150 crore people. These pockets of excellence, we talk about the elite people, etc. How are you going to reach the illiterate people, the millions of masses in the village, how are you going to? That is the big question we were addressing. Innocently I come up. So I thought I will, in a formal way, I will post some questions to you and come back to that. We all talk about in most of the Indian language a word called sukha. Romba sukhama irukku in Tamil. I am very comfortable. What do we mean by it? Many of us we take it that the air conditioning is working, I am comfortable. If it is too much, I am shivering. If it is hot, I am sweating. We talk about that. Some people take sweet and from a Sukuman first class sweet. We all take all our taste buds and perceptual things we consider. But in real sense, the Sanskrit word Sukha says, Su means good, Ka means atmosphere surrounding us. What is the atmosphere? There are 5 elements as we saw: earth, air, fire, water, Akash. In Tamil we have got a very beautiful adage called that means what is in the universe, our body is nothing but a replica of all these things. We came from this and we go back to that in any form, either burning or whichever. So our body itself is built up of the thing. That's how it is started. And how to attain the sukha also has been prescribed in our ANC literature. Now, let us go with the slides. I will show a story and then how it has been gone. What is the message for this? How we can take this to millions of our brothers and sisters who are in the TVs? Unless we make it, to me it appears in my conservatorium after so many years, nearly more than 50 years of in this type of taking to the mass, what is in it for me? The question asks me, why should I do it? That to younger generation of, by doing, will I get anything? Will it bring me money? Will it bring me health or something that way? For that I thought, like a mini SWOT analysis, the manageable way I will approach it and make it. Let's see the first slide, the case study making it. I have a missionary goal with the Agnihotra. At least I took a vow because in my younger years I was brought up in a different atmosphere, and later my period in school days was highly influenced, especially in Tamil Nadu, non-believers, draclist forum. There is no God, and especially putting chappal garland to prayer. That is the time as a school boy I got attracted, and after various times, etc. Then I thought at particular time, India is not my country. I studied German and French to go abroad, not to come back to India. Then turmoil came, the first turning point by JK's philosophy came, you and you alone have to make your journey, none of your temple titles that you do. So we can, individually we have to travel, that's what he made. But the Bhopal tragedy woke up me for a very big, 17,000 innocent people for no fault of theirs. And nearly 10 lakh people still they suffer making it. I was basically an industrial engineer working in Barkil. I have to take care of 15,000 employees, safety, health, environmental protection, along with the township of considering about 6,500 quarters. I was in charge of it. So the task was in an enormous way. So that is the time after Bhopal tragedy, some thought came. So when I saw this, I was taking this as a Agnihotra as a simple message to various people. One of the case today I am showing what happened nearly 20 years back in the Kerala of such people then. I was making a lecture come demo on this. It takes only 5 minutes to perform a demonstration. Morning 5 minutes, that's all what we need. Now, a family roast, a person asks, sir, we are totally non-vegetarian. Except Purata Simasan, that particular month, Lord Venkateswara Saturday, all the days, at least minimum we have to eat egg. And if we take all the birds and animals, can you perform Agnihotra? I said, I didn't talk about what religion, where you go, etc. Those are material. You start practicing it, that's what I told him. After 2 months, still I preserve a letter, worth about $1 million. He wrote a letter stating, sir, even the very look of the egg makes it. I am not able to take. Within 2 months, 2 weeks, I tell you to any one of you here, the way I told you, 3 weeks we can change anybody to vegetarianism by this. Instead of telling that. And that is the case study. Subsequently, in my tour, I found thousands of families were able to switch on because any Agnihotra will be necessarily be vegetarian. Because it's part and parcel. You need not put an effort. Automatically you will become. Because to become vegetarian from non-vegetarian, it needs a strong will. Most of the people, they do not have the will. I visit sometimes medical college, doctor who have to give a health aid, they are smokers and alcoholic people. And every cigarette packet comes and making it. The sales become more and more on the tobacco products and alcoholism, especially Tamil Nadu. Per day 10,000 crores is the alcohol. 10 crores. I live in Bangalore for the past few years. The younger generation, the way they do in their life, I do not know. Morning, Dr. Antalas very beautifully mentioned where are we heading, the society, where it is going. That's a concern. Now I also, you might have seen the paper, McDonald's want to expand 100 outlets in 5 major cities within this year. And KFC, unheard, where even near rural area, I see the KFCs. And young girls and boys smoking and drinking. The rural population on the sustainable side, nearly 60% of the population is going to be concentrated in urban area. Where are we going to be? Can we sustain by these type of small meals? Yes, this good message. But how are you going to do it? That is the biggest message, how to deliver this message to the large mass. Maybe this Agnihotra is one. So from that point of view, I come to that. Let's see in the next slide. Yeah. That person has written a letter, I don't want to make my stomach as a burial ground or burning ground for animals and birds. In fact, I was thrilled to see that type of letter, how we are putting this. So he mentioned that way. Next. Because after performing Agnihotra, you finish as making introspection. That's the time. And moreover, performing this Agnihotra has got 5 elements which I will very briefly touch upon because it needs an elaborate time. Just 2 hours to give it's a highly science, applied science. To explain, if we don't have time, I will touch upon the beauty, the various things, the ingredient goes for this, the sound waves, etc. Without your knowledge, the body cells, as my previous speaker mentioned, there is a change taking place within you without your knowledge, and that makes you to Sattva. Right? Next. Various studies mentioned also, so I will come to that later. There are 80 therapies. Why I go for Agnihotra? I also studied about some 40 therapies, various etc. I exposed to pranic healing, this, that. Come what may, whatever the modern, most of them I underwent now. Finally, I settled with Agnihotra because the very reason is all the therapies, everyone is person-oriented or individual-oriented. If you do yoga, it is good for him, not for him. But if I perform Agnihotra, you can take a air sample before I do Agnihotra in this room. After 50 minutes, if you take the air sample, nearly 95% of the bacteria which is harmful to her have been removed by bacteria phases and bacteria statics. The recent study, especially I took it as a chance because I want to see, but first of all, not connected with religion or caste. So a scheduled caste by at the Jamal Muhammad College, Tiruchirappalli, a Muslim college. Professor Jamal Muhammad is doctorate now, still is there. Through him, we conducted an experiment. We proved that 95% of the bacteria which are normal. So whether you believe it or vegetarian, vegan, whatever you are here, assembled here, if I do that, I am delivering a positive atmosphere for you, naturally you have to live. No single therapy, no other therapy I can assure you will give so much cost effective and simplest thing, hardly 10 minutes. That's why I take it as a for maybe for a future, this may be the only thing to make it. Let's look into that. Briefly, I will touch on what is Agnihotra, but before that, how to go about next slide also, let's see. Now, as I told you, there are Panchabhutas are there, and we are representative of the same 5 elements with us. As long as the temperature is there, we say he or she, the moment temperature goes, the body lies. So we are part and parcel of Agni, right? All the Panchabhutas. We have polluted all the things. He said about the water, earth is polluted. Even Meda, there are oxygen booths are there, which have started in Japan maybe 20 years back. We can't get good air, we can't get good water. The earth is polluted with all things, and even the crops, GM crop, etc. polluted. And Akash, our mind is the Akash representative, which is the thought pollution is the worst pollution. Today, if you take everywhere the terrorism, all the things, whatever you see in the front pages, all these are all replica of nothing but their metal. Because, first of all, food influences your mind and thought. The thought and behavior is influenced by this. Let me narrate a very simple story from Mahabharata. There was a king, and his Rajaguru was living in the forest. He was inviting to come to the capital and honor him for it. Many years he tried to couldn't. Finally, in a moment, the Rajaguru accepted to visit, and king was so happy, arranged a very grand reception, etc. And all the very nice dinner also arranged and make it. King was so much pleased by his visit. He was for only one day. He said he will stay, and early morning he will go back to his forest. Then, so king requested he can kindly sleep in my room. I will be honored. So the guru, such a person was the sage from the forest. He slept. Morning, when he got up by 3 o'clock, he saw the king's necklace. He took away and went back to the forest. King came back, and then morning he saw his necklace is missing, but he can't suspect the fate because he is leaving all these things. A sannyasi leaving the forest, he could have not taken. But he kept quiet because he doesn't want to say it because he became a nuisance value, so he kept quiet. The third day, the sage from the forest came back. He gave back the necklace to the king. Sorry, I do not know what happened that day. Please take it back. Sorry, he said. King could believe it. So, like our modern management, what has happened? He started inquiring. What could have made this sage such a great person, Guruji, to take away this? Something wrong could have gone. So he started analyzing right from his arrival, every moment what has happened, the activity analysis. Finally, food item came. The cook say, I prepared this vegetable from our garden, this is from there, etc. Finally, question came to rice. Where did he get it? From the storeroom. Call the storekeeper, where did he get it? No, Sipais are deposited, the soldiers are deposited somewhere 1 or 2 months back. Call the soldiers, where did he get it? Sir, when he went night round, we saw somebody is carrying a head load. When he says he dropped and ran away. We collected it and waited. Nobody claimed. If there is no claim, then it is deposited in the king's store. I deposited. Now the picture emerged clean. The rice which was robbed, theft right, it has gone as a food to him. As long as it was in his stomach, his buddhi was like that. And it has gone as a excreta, he came to normalcy, returned back. It's not a story, it's in Mahabharata. There are even decent stories. Ashoki is from Tirunamali. Ramana Maharishi story is one seeker. Seeker means who was practicing making. He was doing for many years, but suddenly he found he could not concentrate. Meditation is disturbed. Then actually when he went, He found the cook was looking at the Dinathin, that is daily paper, in the front page full of all the, I don't want to say those stories. He was preparing it. The thought waves gone for food. In some of the custom, even my house, even today, my wife when preparing, she will go on sell the various slogas. Even if you do not know, at least put so. Your thought waves goes to the food, and that food when you eat, you behave like that. That's what the next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah, disturbance in equal cycle, mass gesture, forest, etc. So many things. Already people said I will skip on this portion next. Yeah, this is very important. I want to bring it to you. Sustainability, we talk about it. Yeah, a group of American scientists have predicted at the present level of pollution, where are we heading for it? They have predicted probably in 5 generations, roughly about 120 years, our great-great-grandchildren may look like this, the present way of pollution. This is the biggest lesson. I'm not threatening, it has been put. Sustainability. The nose will be like a chimney. Everything comes. Skin will be like a buffalo skin. Already somebody has got like a rhinoceros skin. That's a different issue. Right? Yeah, it will become like dog. When the noise pollution comes, it will go down, it will come up like that. Very important. Even I will become like a pig. Instead of urine, you will say, taste will be delivered. This is the way current pollution is going to take place. Next. And this part of this. I am not elaborate. Those who want, you can get a hard copy. Except the slide, I got some booklets. Those of you interested, I will be able to give. This is the way it's going to be. In 5 generations, or your great-great-grandchildren lost, when they look at your photo, my great-great-grandfather look like this, why I look like this? Am I animal or monkey? It's going to be a question to ask. We inherited from our forefathers such a beautiful life, we enjoy the life like this. But recklessly we, destroyed all the natural resources. All the resources are neither be fundamental principle, energy can be neither be created nor be destroyed. Any energy is transformed. Even the previous speaker, everybody says this. The food also became energy, and finally it goes to the fire, and again as energy. Energy cycle, whole on the Shakti Maya, if you see the body, energy, continuously making it the cycle. This is what is rooming for it. As we inherited, is it not our duty to seize a good legacy is left for our future generation, for our great-great-grandchildren? That is the question I ask first of all. Probably it touches many of the people who are making, yes, I should not, I should be careful. And we go on take the natural resources. Are we paying back? No. On the other hand, we destroy it. We take from mother soil, we put more chemicals and then pull it. We take the water and we put all the waste in this. Ganga supposed to be, everybody, I will not elaborate. So, except the Agni, we have polluted all. And because being the third pollution, I don't mind losing both of my eyes, I want to lose one eye. One, whether it's Indian or everywhere, that's a human thing, that is goes. On the other hand, the current scenario is much more blooming there. Even government does not bother about it. We saw 2G scam, coal scam. Yesterday, I saw in the paper, egg scam has come. Government giving the egg to the children, under scam. Can they not provide a good vegetable for the children? Even the people are making people entertain. Especially in urban areas, the peer pressure became more for people to become non-vegetarian. When the affluence, the more money comes, hunters will be more. Taking liquor, smoking, and take the food is the life. That is the way they are being wrongly projected. So I am targeting about the younger generation, especially children who are going to be our future. Unless they are there, we can't enjoy that. Okay, next. Can you remove the pollutants? People say we have reached the point of no return. No, it is not possible. Only we must know how to live along with the pollutants. That is the only answer. No, so let us know how to live with that. Is there a way for that? Yes, there is a way. What is the way? Agnihotra. Let us see. Please. We cannot eradicate a germ, but get injected to protect ourselves. When you go, they say get yours inoculated. So like every homa, every Agni is nothing but inoculating the atmosphere. There are about 420 yajnas are there. Yajnas are stated Agnihotra. This is the very most simple, every human being. As on day, more people abroad they do. In 85 countries, including 7 Islamic countries, they do Agnihotra. My friend Mr. Dr. Paramasingh, I was in Malaysia a few years back, about 10 years back. There are 29,000 people Agnihotri's are in Malaysia. Cow dung was exported from here. Right? Such is the way we lost our own heritage. We waste our time on the idiot box, etc. I'm a public speaker. A few years back, I was in the road. People, advanced pregnant lady came. Sir, your message is good. No, how to live? I asked simple question. Madam, do you see TV? Yes. Stop from today. Your child will be better. I told the public. And American papers say I got one page write up. American doctor, lot of stresses at that. When they got that, psychologist said, stop reading newspaper and TV. You are better off. I was in Vietnam a few years back for my official work. I studied Agnihotra where I go. When I look at the paper, English paper, I found the front page all good news and the rear side only, inside only some of the bad news. Then I feel sad. Because 10 days I am reading a paper, I all see all even important bad news are inside. I ask the local person, sir, the country's rule, it's a communist country. The country's rule is in the front page, you should not publish any bad news. TV should not telecast bad news in the morning. My son is doing service for Israel. In Israel also same rule is there. Our paper, even the national paper started publishing, here there's a rape, here there is a, the morning thought itself, you are polluted, the thought polluted, you come to work in the office also, you make all the things, fighting and making it. Cannot do these simple things. That's how the thought pollution has taken place, right? We cannot edit the pollution. Next. Veda. People should be slightly philosophical. Veda means knowledge. It is a right for every human being born in this earth. It's not a one group. This wrong message has been told by British people and divide and rule, and also subsequently followed by other political parties. It is not so. As I told you, more foreigners are doing Agnihotra than we Indians. Supposed to be this knowledge. Whereas goal, how to make it. Ultimately, everybody wants to have sukha. How to eat sukha? What is the goal of it? Every one of us, we have got some goal in the life. Some people say, I want my children to be educated, I want to have good house, I want to have this. If you go on like an onion, go on expecting, ultimately, what is the thing you want? You may need only two things, peace of mind and happiness. Ultimately, that's what you need. One day we have to go. These two, can you go and buy? Okay, I give 1 crore rupee, give me 1 kg of happiness or 2 liters of peace of mind. Can you go and buy it? No. It's nothing but a status of mind and how to control that mind. And moreover, the present society activities make you not have a strong willpower, even if the willpower in the other side for negative things, not on the positive now. How to create that a positive feeling, that's the basis for this, all the process. Next. Next, please. That's what I already explained. Next. Biorhythm, we talked about various rhythms. Everybody has got a rhythm. In fact, some of the portion it touches is medical astrology. Each planet has got a role. Whether you like it or not, it will be affected. Even Damana Maharishi had a cancer. I met the doctor, Dr. Gopinath Rao, who did the surgery. When they asked him whether to give the answer, he said no. He was smiling at it when the cancer was removed. Damana Maharishi, you know that. Every man has got this. Our body is full of all the diseases. Only when the immune system is disturbed, it is manifesting as disease. That's all. And more so with the thought. When the thought pollutes it, we become violent and making it. Next. It says process of purification and prana. Our friend told the time. Now if you touch your nose, only one nose will be okay for all of us. Exactly at sunrise and sunset, if you touch, both the noses will open. That's the time you have to perform. Sandhya, there are slogas are there. At that time, you get the maximum energy from what you are performing, the small ritual of 5 minutes, which I will learn. Next. It's a holistic system. As I told you, cheap and best for whether you like it or not, everybody will get training. Next. Multidisciplinary, lot of research. For your kind information, in India, if you put Veda Prasad, people are making fun. But there is an Agnihotra University in Baltimore, USA, functioning from 1978 onwards. They do research. Second biggest thing, we think generally people, communist people, they don't have belief and etc. They are non-believers. More research has been done by communist countries. Chile is the first country in home farming, 20% extra yield. Poland is the country. There's a book called 294 rupees you can buy. Secret Behind Iron Curtain. Russia has done most wonderful thing on Agnihotri. They say after Chernobyl nuclear disaster, a group of Muslim scientists from Yugoslavia, when they gone, where it is affected place, when they applied a cow dung paste, when they took the geyser counter, it shows zero reactivity. That means even cow dung can protect against radioactivity. Full page of it, all the things are, research papers are available. Those who are interested, I can mail to you. I give my mail ID. We lost the final series. That's why maybe vegan may not accept because it's an animal product ghee, but today American scientists say ghee is needed for lubrication of the party for at least spoon. That is the way. Let's go through that. That's why I'm not going to question. Andes Mountain, morning, Mr. Singh, Madam has told how Amazon. That's the first country to experiment on coma farming 35 years back. Chile, Brazil, Peru country, the president of the country, Peru, he declares, hereafter, henceforth, do not apply chemical fertilizer. Please perform only Agnihotra and Purusha Sukta. I can show the original declaration. Sometime later I may show you a very quick glance. I show some quick photos, 30, 40 photos, how the agriculture, fruits and anything, vegetable we eat has been made this. Cheap and best. Next. So, number of, as I told you, about 80 countries, including 7 Islamic countries, are practicing very widely and they are building. But they are all pockets of excellence. The message, what I want to tell is, these are all pockets of excellence. I am doing for almost 22 years in India. After so many years, now slowly I succeed in Bangalore. About 100 families are slowly there. By December there will be 100 families. Of which nearly 30 families are non-vegetarian. Already they are given a feedback, they are all became vegetarians. Within 2 months. And most of them are documented and written with their address, etc., so that you can go and verify. I don't want just like that making it. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I'm talking. Being in industry, one of the things is I must document for future reference. Every one of them contact and go for them. Well, next. Now, I have to go certain philosophically. There are declared mantras. All being on earth is born indeed food. We are from food, we are food, and we are again being food. It's a cycle making it. They all exist, grow by food alone, and finally resolve to this food alone. Food is eaten by beings, and food is being. Morning they said, I eat the animal and the animal eats me. Like that is making it. Or should go to disrespect the food. You should not disrespect the food making it. It's what the Upanishad says. Next. Yeah, natural character. What is suit to me? Very beautifully my previous speaker spoke, doctor. What all the season, how to make it. Rhythm, the word itself came from Sanskrit. Rutuma. Rutu is become English word rhythm. Right? The Rutus in rhythm, which Rutus you have to take. Next. So, our Upanishads say the food is of 3 types. Sattvic food, Rajasic and Tamasic. That's what earlier speaker also said. Our gunas also Sattvic gun and Rajasic and Tamasic. Every human being has got all the 3 gunas. Only the proportion varies. The good person, Sattvic people are there. All of us are Sattvic people because we are vegetarians and vegans. There are Tamasic people, sometimes they make it. Tamasic people are violent. What goes inside ultimately? Please remember always, what goes inside manifests as your attitude and the behavior. That's the story as it remains. Next. So from Sattva, knowledge is born. Sattvic people love succulent, fortifying, pleasing foods, which increases longevity, mental clarity, strength, health, pleasure, and taste, and aesthetic. Sattvic qualifies imply essence and reality, consciousness, purity, creativity, and health. I was listening to morning Tamil speakers, especially Dr. Ismail and that actor Rajesh. Very beautifully they explained how they were all non-vegetarian, how they become this. I missed because it was simultaneous sessions. I skipped and I want just as I went. They narrated how they became. You will automatically make this. Next. People to whom sattva predominates are loving, compassionate, and pure-minded. They tend to have positive behavior, love for all beings, compassion and concern for it. Morning Peta, first speaker talked about the animal, this one. Unless I have compassion, concern for my fellow human being, first I should have compassion for you all. Then I can extend to animal. Straight away I can transfer. There should be from within, there should be. It should be come from within. Right? And that change takes place, then I can extend to other area. Now I have to change, how to change? I am reluctant, but indirectly I will change you. There is a way. That is the way the Agnihotra makes it. Next. Rajas born out of greed. Rasic people like food of bitter, sour, salty, excessively hot, pungent, asking, burning, licking, pain. And others leads to the sensual enjoyment, pressure and pain, effort and restlessness. This is the quality. Comes next, Tamsic. Next please. People who have Rasic quality predominant tend to have egoistic, ambitious, aggressive, proud, competitive. This we see. Every one of us we have got this. Please remember, it's not an exclusive right for a particular group. Only percentage wise. I may have 80% of Satvik and 5% of this, that's all. And those people, the terrorists may have 80% of that and 5% they also feel for at least for their own family and children. So no human being is complete. The proportion varies and then we have to equalize it. Right? They work hard for like power, prestige and position. Maybe most of our politicians, I do not know. They suffer from the fear of failure, tend to be angry and jealous and have few moments of joy. Rasic individuals are quickly drained of mental energy. They require 8 hours of sleep. Right, next. Tamas is born out of apathy and delusion. Tamasic people's state are inadequately cooked food from which the essence of gone, left over in the night, resulting in the character of dullness, absence of activity, indifference and delusion. As I told you, Benda unavu, nunda unavu. Morning first week I said, once you boil, you have taken the energy. So in our camp, it is a compulsory raw vegetable. We should not, fire should not be brought inside at all. Even today there is an ashram near Tirunelveli where only coconut and banana is given for all sorts of, including cancer patients have been treated. Alvaram ashram, they are naturopathic people. Only 2 food, no other, even the variety of food. Coconut, you can take full coconut, you can take 10 bananas. Only this for 10 days, 15 days, the people are making it. Pera Vadapada Samyan, Tyangapada Samya, the things are there. Such things do exist even today, but that's very minuscule. People don't have the willingness to go and then go for this thing. Next. Tamas is darkness, inertia, heaviness, tendency towards materialism. Individuals dominated by tamas tend towards depression, laziness, excessive sleep, eating, drinking, and sex. They may be greedy, possessive, attached, irritable, uncaring parties. The little mental work tries them easily. They sleep more than 8 hours. Kids are up. That's a difference. We'll take it. Next. Now, I would say, sorry to use the word, most of the MNC follow this. Multinational corporations, their target, a few corporations want to capture the entire food world by junk food, like McDonald's and KFCs, or liquor barons. And government supports by this. They are the enemies for the population. It is not protecting the people like it. If you go the other way, the World Health Organization say psychosomatic disorder. Now what is the biggest growth is? We found more polyclinics, hospitals, specialty, super specialty hospital. Even I think nail specialists, each one becomes specialist. Ultimately they become cell specialist, cell specialist, this specialist, like that. The way mushroom growth of hospitals. I'm not where are we heading for? The root reason is like this. Nearly 70% of the disorders today in the society is because of psychosomatic disorder. Somatic is about psycho is this. Once you get rid of this, half of the hospital can be closed. Health deliverance is costly thing. The government is ignorant about it. If you promote this properly, they will say in a secular country, this is a Hindutva, etc. It's not so. It is more, as I told you, more communist people are doing it. What is wrong in it? And we introduced, there, we introduced in Chennai Balabon. In the school, students started getting high score. 108 people on Guru Purnima day we inducted. Within 3 months, the school performance improved. We can experiment with your children when you go back. Next. So, the same thing represents this, Tamasic Guna. The food is represented by this, my Gunas. Next. So Sattvic food, light vegetarian food, fresh and easy to digest, fresh vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, milk, and milk derivatives, pungent. Milk may not be accepted to our vegan friends. I got a very simple single one-sheet chart which says even if you know full salt is not good. If you take a mono food, today means if you take orange, you take even 10 orange or 10 banana. But if you mix the food, each has got a combination. Inside Mahabharata is going on. For many of us, inside the stomach after eating, Mahabharata is going on because we do not know even what to eat. And many of the people also, I used to be I was 2 days back, I was telling, I'm a corporate educator, I'm a public speaker as well as corporate educator. And one of the bad things with all of us is, when we eat, we look at the TV and then eat. Whatever the things there, most of the TVs, all serial, to all the languages, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law fight, or murder, or rape scene. When you look at it, the violent thing, the food you go also is become violent. Ordinary food become violent. The same sattvic food, looking at those type of TV, if you eat, it becomes tamasic. So thought is very, very important, you must always remember. And Indian system of food, today only the earlier days our forefathers did not have all these type of comforts in making it. Right? Even isolation, morning I was telling to Dr. Anda, she's my friend Ashok Kumar sir, we are having last week. So a few weeks I went to Rigveda. Rigveda says, where the woman is going to deliver, for 10 days you perform Agnihotra, that your room will be purified by permanent. There was no isolation about those days. I born in my house. We were 8, all of us, we born in the house. There was no hospital on that time. Right? And if you put the neem leaves in the house, on the village, only 2 things happen. Either a newborn baby is there or a pox is there. The place has been made as isolation, no special isolation ward and all silence, etc. This is how our lives are there. Right? Anyway, leave it there. And also Nivedanam. There is a practice I once said, a simple prayer. Today we enjoy the food. How many of you, when you take the food, thought about the farmer who was in the water and then grown this food? That's the thanking. We are the thankless people. We don't thank anybody. Lord Almighty, that even we don't thank. The food, earth we don't thank. That is the Homa, Agnihotra Homa, thank all this. It thank the Bhu, Bhuva, Suva, all the Logas, all the elements. That's the thank you. Next. Thiruvallur say, food is your medicine, medicine is your food. There's another thing, I don't have time, pulsation, etc. I will leave it like this. Upasam also, I will skip those questions. Let's go to the other area. Food not only nourishes the body, it affects the mind and conscience as well as a physical constitution characters a different portion of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Here, touch it actually, I don't want to make it. Next. Yeah, this is the chart I want to give. How it is fighting. If you take the into mass, fat and protein, if you take it, it's going to agitate in you. What to take, what not to take. A single page chart, and also even what type of juice. These are absolutely, they are all vegetarian and vegan. 2 slides, only 1 single sheet. I don't have much copy. I thought yesterday even I sent take a copy, or I can mail it to you. Next, this is a continuation of this. Even first day, how to go about it. Second day, third day, how we can slowly change out it. Acute disease, complete fasting, etc. Remember the etc. making this. Just 2 simple charts will make you, help you, to assist you to improve upon your lifestyles. Lifestyle is more important. Next. Yeah. Still next. You go. Next. Yeah. He said, I am an engineer, so I have to. I spend more on corporate level, especially more technical people. So I was asked. I was asking 2 days back and said, like, what is the unit of measure for energy? Then finally they said horse power. Then I told him the horse is vegetarian, elephant is vegetarian. I am vegetarian. Come and feel. Many feeling people are vegetarian. These are vegetarians. This is how I open. I spread this as a corporate means almost every month I have to go for various institutions. I spread this. That's why I might be converting people to people. Next. This I will skip this whole portion. Please kindly go to the home of farming. About Agnihotra, I will come back to that. Let me tell you, after finishing this very interesting slide, I will take only 5 minutes to sum it up. No, close this file. There is one more file. Home of farming. How this Homa in various countries throughout the world make the vegetable making. That's what I want. That's more interesting because we are vegetarian, we want vegan. On the food we go, even the vegetable if you go on the GM diet is not going to help you. Now if you go by this method, that's going to be organic farming is slightly difficult. You can make the farm organic by this method also. There are even in India there are experiments are going on. Quickly you can go through. These are research papers. This also kept. I want to bring you see various Homa from South Germany, Chile, Poland, Venezuela, Australia. These are countries, Argentina, Brazil. These are the countries already practicing Homa farming in a very extensive way. Next. There's a method called how to measure the energy. Did you hear about Kirlian energy, Kirlian photos? Kirlian energy has been applied to the leaves. Even the leaves, the plants Kira, they all become energized by this Agnihotra. That's what these are Agnihotra observations, very things, etc. Peru, we can see, President of the Republic of Peru, he declares, hereafter, henceforth, do not use chemical fertilizer. Please perform Agnihotra and Pusha Siddha. Only 10 minutes, and what an enormous growth. And that's what you are going to enjoy. I want to show it will be more thrilling for you. Next. I'll skip this portion also. Go to the photos. Yeah, this is our institute. I am representing Institute for Vedic Studies in Akkalkot. Even though I am from Tamil Nadu, probably some various reasons I have been taken for that. In fact, Kanchan Mati is close to me, but is Jayendra Saraswati brother, myself classmate, but my fate took me there. As I told you, there are some Purvajanma karma, etc. take place. So I am representing that and how it goes. Clearly say before Agnihotra, after Agnihotra, treating the floor of it. Next. Next also, these are various things. Next. All the receptors. I want to show these are only photos. Just to enjoy the photo, how they do. Right? It is in Australia, Agni farm. Next. See? How big one single vegetable, the Swaraka, Narada Ashram of Australia. I was in New Zealand. I was traveling from Adelaide to a place. I saw Rama, a village name. I taken a photo. One name, village name is Rama. There is more similarity between the local Maoris and India. I went for second World Hindu Conference a few years back. Really enjoyable. First time introduced Agnihotra in New Zealand. Last 2 years back in Nepal. I go to back here. Next. See how reduce output. Next. You can go fast. It's at Poland. The previous photo is at Poland. Oasis. The people perform Agnihotra. People dance in the farm. Right? Next. Sheep dam, that is known as. See the harvest. How healthy the food looks. Sheep dam, that is known as. All the vegetables grown by Foma farm. Patta Marangal Tulithara Tamil. This tree, actually, I wish they told. How the government support West Germany at that time, East Germany was there. Because of the acid rain, Ruhr Valley, the forest getting destroyed. It's a very essential thing for ecological balance at the German Czechoslovakia called the Black Forest. So German government has funded to perform Agnihotra, and the trees they are saying how this the look itself making so blooming making it. The trees which are dying they are all rejuvenated by performing Agnihotra. A 5 minutes ritual that's all. Next. Yeah. How healthy. As you go through, you'll see some more photos. Quickly you can go through the papaya grown. You see the peerless papaya grown in how big it is there. See, branches. In papaya tree, branches are coming in this. All homoforming. Next. Delicious. I tested. Every year from Germany, good come here to Akkalkot, and I also shared this. We have got Agnihotra farming. Argentina, there's a homoforming. Next. They are simple morning, body, what's called kinesthetics. Next. These are all like. Yeah, when I mentioned Poland, I want to mention. Let us say I got a paper. A group of people from USA, they went to Poland, where the people are being killed. The Jews were exterminated. 6,000 people. There they have performed. The energy was measured. The people's soul who died, thousands of people, those souls were all lingering the thing. They are cleansed. They are 12-page people really who shed tears. Mere performing Agnihotra purify the earth. Those are people I can forward the paper. Not we. The American people went and performed Agnihotra and the people are exterminated. That's the way it is. Next. Now Agnihotra shop plan. See, she prepared cow and cake. Number two, saan is not being a saan for it. Next, another medical instrument. How healthy the animal looks. We talk about animal, people should take note of it. Next, donkey, majestically looking. Vegetables. Oh, Spanish people done wonderful things. You will see coming photos. You feel like sucking and eating. They are all in Spanish language. You can get in there. See, next, quickly go through. These are, I told the essence, I am not going to elaborate it. To some extent, I know what is in English, but I am skipping those portions. She is the lady, she declares. See, look at the mangoes and everything. Next, go. All vegetables. See, banana. We talked about today morning, banana. How healthy. Sunflowers. Greens. All types of vegetables. All of homa. Therapy, homa therapy. Homa farming. All homa farming. coconuts, lettuce. Yeah. So healthy and nice it is looking. Even vermiculture, honey. You call a thing and make it. What is there? Even the animal disorder has been cured. In Bangalore, I am consulting even for what you call Goshala. Some of the ancient business putting Dalmia cement, morning when they play the flute, for the same feed, cows are milking more. And Krishna you can go. Demonstration music and mild music. So 100 cow area in Bangalore, they are being treated what is called food mouth disease, etc. So one of the finest thing. Next. Animals become more healthy. This is more this area. These are all that's the Peru. That's the original document, presidential declaration declaring do not use chemical fertilizer. A country taken our knowledge, they benefited so much, and I leave it to your imagination. Where are you? Next. Next. Yeah, I think we can conclude. I will send all the things later. 1,000 pages scientific information.